Welcome, book lovers. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and this is the Bookish Brew. Today, we're going to go over all of my fantastic reads for the month of July. There was 13 books, so hopefully you can pick a recommendation out of those. So let's get started. So the first one I read, and not the first one I read, but the one that was our book club pick of the month for July was Wayward by Amelia Hart. This book discusses three women over several generations that follows Violet, Althea, and Kate. And it talks about their family lineage. Althea was from 1619. Violet was during World War II, 1940s, and then Kate from current day, so 2019, thereabouts. And it talks about each of the women's struggles through the different generations that I read in July and what it was like to be a woman during that time. And it talks about female empowerment. It is a witches-based story, but it was a really great, fantastical, historical fantasy read for me. I definitely would recommend this. I did give it a 4.5-star rating, so definitely check this one out. The next one that I read I listened to via audio, and it was called One for the Money by Janet Ivankovich. And this one is a story that follows Stephanie Plum. And this is a really older book. I think there's like 20 plus books in the series now. If I'm not mistaken, probably way more than that now. But it is a mystery, crime mystery type novel. Stephanie Plum, the main character, becomes a bounty hunter. And out of desperation, she ends up trailing her ex-husband. And through humor and determination, you find whether or not she captures him. This is a bounty hunter, second chances type tropes. It was a really good story. I definitely would recommend, if you do pick this one up, to do it on physical versus audio. I wasn't really thrilled with the audio version of it, but overall, I think it was a good story, and I do plan to continue to read in the series physically. Next one that I read in July was Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I did do a reading blog on this one, and I'll link that down below for you. But this is a contemporary romance. It follows Naomi and Knox. Naomi escapes to a small town to start over after she leaves her wedding to save her sister, her twin sister. When she gets to that town, she realizes that her twin sister, as always, has made a giant mess of the situation. And she runs into Knox Morgan, who is a millionaire by lottery, and through community support and through Knox, she's able to overcome some of her life situations and how to basically let go of always having to clean up her sister's mess. This is a grumpy sunshine, small town romance type book. This is the first in a book of 3. I would definitely recommend this series. I will plan on reading the second one here coming soon. But this one I did rate a 4-star. It wasn't quite a 5 for me, but I felt like it was a really good story, and I definitely enjoyed it. The next one that I read, which I don't have physically, I did get it from the library, was The Wren and the Holly Library by K.A. Lindy. This one was one of my anticipated reads for the month of July, and I really enjoyed the story. This one follows Graves and Kersey. Kersey is a thief by nature, but she is she doesn't know how to get out of that life, and she goes to steal a item, from a mansion, but they don't know if in that mansion is a monster or a human. Recently, there was a treaty between the humans and the monsters, but it doesn't save her in this situation. If she's found on his property, he has the right to kill her. Through this evolves in a magical library and follows both Curse and Graves and on their discovery of themselves, but also of the world. It does look like this will be a part of a series. Not sure when the second one will come out. But if you liked Court of Thorns and Roses, this is similar to that series. I did give this a 4-star rating. I am anticipating for the second book to come out. I really want to see how this story progresses. If it will completely change as it evolves from A Court of Thorns and Roses. The next one that I listened to for the month of July was The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. This was the first Christina Lauren I've actually read, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was a contemporary romance novel. It follows Fizzy and Connor, and Fizzy is a romance novelist that decides she's going to participate in a dating experiment that is held by Connor. And it goes through their relationship while she's trying to find somebody that she wants to fall in love with through the show. There's feelings that start to come to light between her and Connor. So it's their story. It's a enemies to lovers, fake relationship type book. I did give it a 3-star just because I felt like there was some things that I could have been better. But overall, I felt like it was a really good book. I will read more of her books as time goes on. So that I read, and I'm behind on the game on these. They've been out for a while, but it ends with Us by Colleen Hoover. And this was a book that I wanted to pick up for a long time, but I was kind of on the fence. The only other book I read by Colleen is Verity, and that one was quite a twist of a book for me. And so I wasn't really sure how I felt about this, how I feel about this book, but I'm so glad that I picked it up. I absolutely loved it. I didn't want to put it down. This is a book that follows Lily, Ryle, and Atlas. This is like a love triangle, second chances trope. It does deal with some heavy topics like domestic violence and age gap dating in early ages. So if those are triggers for you, I definitely check out the trigger warnings before picking this one up. But I actually really enjoyed the storyline and how Lily navigates her relationship with Ryle and deals with her past from Atlas. And I highly recommend this one. This is coming to theaters August 9th, so just in a few days from when I'm filming this. So I cannot wait to see the movie. I won't be seeing it on release day, but I will definitely be going and getting to see if they were successful in making the movie on this. I did give it a 4.5 stars, so not quite 5, but I definitely really, really enjoyed it. I did annotate a little bit in it, and I do plan to reread this book. And that I did was actually an ARC read, and it was The Unexpected Earl by Christina Diane. And this one is a historical fiction romance genre, and it follows Lady Clarissa and Edward. And I really enjoyed this story, and I can't wait to read more by Christina Diane, especially in this series. It follows Lady Clarissa, who falls for her childhood friend Edward, who's now an earl. They rekindle their relationship, and they have to deal with the society expectations for back then. This was set in, I want to say, the 1800s. So a lot of different challenges back then and what was expected. And I really enjoyed how the author portrayed that era. So this was a friends, lover, second chances. If you like that, definitely pick this book up. It is on Kindle Unlimited. It came out at the end of July. I would give it a 4-star rating on this one, and I'm really excited to pick up the next book in the series. The next one that I listened to was The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This one is a mystery. If you read The Silent Patient, this is in that same psychological mystery thriller. And I really did enjoy this story. I would say I enjoyed the Silent Patient more so than I did The Maidens, but I definitely like the storyline for The Maidens. It follows Mariana, who is a therapist who becomes obsessed with providing a proving a professor is a murderer that's on campus. And this, it comes after a student is found dead, and she undercovers some dark secrets within the college and a secret society. It is a dark academia, murder mystery type book. I definitely, if you're into those, would definitely pick this up. I did give it a 3-star, just because I felt like there were some things missing, some connections that weren't quite there. But overall, I felt like it was a really good read. Now, my lowest rated book that I read for the month of July was After by Anna Todd. Now, this is an older one as well. It is a contemporary romance YA novel, and it follows Tessa and Hardin. And Tessa meets Hardin, and she's just falls upside down in this relationship with him. And it's a very like toxic relationship. I gave it a 2-star. I felt like there was some good things about it and some not so great things. I felt like Hardin was not a very good influence for Tessa, and yet she still kept going back to him. And it just wasn't for me. It's not for everybody. So I won't continue with that series, but if you definitely are into like college romances, good girl, bad boy kind of tropes, certainly pick it up, give it a shot. You may like it more than I did. But the next one that I listened to was The Devil Wears Black by LJ Shin. And this one is my first read by LJ Shin. I really did enjoy this story. I thought it was super cute. It is a contemporary romance. Kai, stop. It is a contemporary romance, and it's a fake dating, opposites attract type book. Hopefully you're following some trends with me. The fake dating, fake relationships leads to something. Definitely read a lot of that in July. But this book follows Maddie, who pretends that her ex-fiance is now her fiance to fill her father's dying wish. And as things develop, as they go along, they end up developing real feelings for each other. So it's definitely a great read. I did give it a 3.5 star. I enjoyed it. I'm interested to pick up other things by LJ Shin and see what more is out there. Overall, it was a really good read, and I had a good time with it. Next one that I listened to was The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, and this one was actually really good. I gave it a 3-star. It is a mystery thriller. It follows Jane and Eddie. Jane becomes entangled with wealthy and enigmatic Eddie, and right from the beginning, you can tell like something's off about Eddie. But Jane isn't all there either. She's very like, I want people to love me. I will do anything to be liked. And so she kind of sets up this trap to snare Eddie into a relationship, and in doing so, she uncovers some really dark secrets of what's happened in the past with Eddie's wife and her friend. And so it's a really good story. There is quite a twist at the end that I did not see coming whatsoever. So definitely pick that book up. It's a good one. The next one is kind of a controversial read. A lot of people have either loved it or hated it. This one was The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz, and this is a mystery novel as well. But what I really like the storyline in this one. So this follows Alex, who attends a prestigious writing retreat, and she ends up going where her best friend is also attending this retreat. And they had a big falling out, her and her friend, and while she's there, she's trying to like mend her relationship with her friend. But then some things start to happen at this retreat, this writing retreat, that just seems really odd and off. So she starts to dig, and I was really surprised by the ending. I felt like it was a really good read. I did feel like some of it, like it wasn't a 4-star for me, but it was a 3.5. And I felt good with that, simply because I felt like there could have been more tension in the story and more building of the relationship between her and her friend and how everything connected. But definitely a good story, would recommend. The last one that I read was It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. And this is the second one, the sequel to It Ends With Us. And I love this book just as much as I loved End With Us. This is a continuation of Lily's story after where It Ends With Us ends. Now, I can't give too much away on this one just because you'd have to read Ends With Us first in order to get... you'd have to read It Ends With Us before you read this one. I don't want to give away any spoilers. But overall, I felt like this was a really good story. I did give it a 4.5 star. This one really follows Lily and Atlas. So definitely recommend picking this book up. But that is all the books I read in July. And I really hope that you found some books that you want to read for the month of August or in the future. Definitely give me a comment down below which one you've already read, or one that you really want to read. Hey book lovers, welcome back to my channel, and this is the Bookish Brew. Today we are going to discuss some of my wonderful reads of July. July was a great reading month for me. I read 13 books. It won shy from the previous month, but overall it was a really good reading month, and I read some fantastic books. So grab your cup of coffee, grab a cozy place to sit, and let's discuss some of my favorite reads